guess this may be the only one we're doing this month. Have tests. These are my final tests, exams. That's why I haven't been online doing any form of videos or mail stuff. I have my final exams that I'm starting the other week. Not next week, but the other week. I think it depends on which country you're from. Would call the other week starting 4th of August. That's going to be the other week, not next week. For us, our week starts on Monday, not on Sunday. So yeah, it's the other week. That's why I haven't been doing my live streams this semester. I'm doing my final papers, and I need to concentrate, guys. I need to hella concentrate. My nails have been really crusty, and I didn't want to do these papers with my nails not well done. So we're going to do the nails. You can see there's some growth. Yeah, there's some growth, but it's not like that much. Okay, it's not that much, but do it just like this. And for us, we do monochrome nails. They don't allow us in school to have any form of charms. Actually, it's not even about them not allowing it. Even if I wanted to still disobey and have the charms, very long nails and the rest, I don't think it would be practical for me in my field. It wouldn't be practical. So how have you guys been? How is life? How is half the year going? And of course, the exams are 2 weeks. That means after the 2 weeks, I'll have some like 10 days before I start the next academic year. Then I'll be having enough time for live streams this time around because it's like moving from one level to the next level when it comes to my academic journey. So I'll have all the time for us to do live streams every day. But for now, wow, it's just not possible. And I'm always a lilac purple girly, so that's what we get year in, year out. Okay, I do some maroon, but it's not like an every time thing. Okay, it's not like an every time thing. I hope you're able to see my screen well. And if I do this semester well, I want to reward myself with a new camera set, lighting, and everything because I plan on elevating my content. I don't also want it to be only nails, but I think I might do something to I might start doing some little vlogs here and there in this examination period. I don't know how that will be. Much as they don't allow us with phones to examination labs or just the rooms. We're not allowed with them, but I'll try my best to vlog some things. Someone asked me on my Instagram, what's that one skill I am grateful for learning since I'm a student and I have to vent for myself and the rest. I honestly will say nails. Nails have saved me from heck a lot. Not just that making money out of it, but I don't really have to spend money in that. And I also do braid my own hair, so I really don't pay that much for beauty stuff, doing my own makeup. Unless I want to just spoil myself a bit, that's when I go to a salon or anything. But otherwise, I don't usually pay for any beauty products or beauty procedures. And I also don't gym. I naturally just, not that I have the physique of an athlete or whatsoever, but I've been consistently with my weight, consistent with my weight. I've never had an issue where I'm overweight or underweight. So I really don't pay for also gym services. Skincare, I don't. I Well, skin is not that perfect, but I feel like I really don't want to waste money on that. For me, it is a bit time money wastage because my skin has relatively been good. I don't struggle with it, but I've seen a lot of people struggling from skin issues, and it's not necessarily that they don't have good skincare or skin routine, or it's mainly hormonal. I've seen it a lot because I've just made my 20 and I've seen a lot of people going through that. So it's basically a hormonal issue, the skin. I've seen it a lot with my peers. It's mainly a hormonal issue, the imbalance, not anything. Like they don't have good hygiene or what. No, they do. Because I've even, some of the people I've met having skin issues like maybe pimples or acne. Most of it I've seen it's resulting from hormonal issues. It's not something to do with, or they are just dirty, or they don't take care of themselves, or they don't have good hygiene. No, it's not it. It's mainly a hormonal issue. Then when it comes to weight, I don't know. I really want to understand. Is it a gene issue? Because I've seen people who don't eat a lot, but they're still very big, quite, right? They're big, like their BMI is beyond the acceptable for a specific body. And yeah, I do understand the BMI that the system that we use, the BMI system we use is basically created for a body that is not for somebody who is a person of color. And this is not to like instigate anything, but most of the BMI systems, that the calculators that we use, I don't think they fit for the normal African, the regular African body or black body. We have she's Swedish. I think she's from Sweden. We have a girl in my class. She's from Sweden, and she weighs 48, and her height is she's 5'8", 5'8", yeah, 5'8". But most of the girls, the African girls who of her height, and also like they weigh relative like 46, 49 there, they tend to look overweight compared to her. Like they look overweight, not overweight like being big, but like if you're to see the weight they carry, their weight is more compared to hers. So I feel like it's not like the BMI is created using a system that would favor everybody. And this before anyone says, "Oh, are we talking about bodies today or weight today?" No, I'm just a random person online. I talk randomly. So you can also bring in a topic as long as it's not politics or religion. Yeah, you can bring a topic and we have a conversation on it. And also feel free to ask me all nail related questions. Okay. This is the first layer. I'm going to give it 2 minutes to cure and then we'll apply the other layer. But yeah, basically that is something about weight that I've observed. The weight I carry on myself is kind of different to somebody who is of a different race. And most of it, my body is generally more caviar compared to somebody who is maybe coming from a side of the world where the genes don't work that way. So I feel weight is kind of affected by genes too. It's not necessarily something that is based on your lifestyle. Much as lifestyle does affect you too, because I can talk from my own experience. I have my height. I am 5'2", which is relatively very, very short, like very short compared to most of the people in my clan or my tribe. For us in Africa, we have tribes. We don't do the resting. Okay, maybe yeah. We do have whites, we do have blacks, we have coloreds in South Africa. That's also like a whole different race of its own. And we do exist with them well here. But I feel like the weight I hold is different from somebody who is not of maybe my tribe or clan, but also the lifestyle does influence it for me because I work and study in a field where I move a lot, I stand, I spend most of the day standing or walking. I am We're kind of next to the airport, so planes are trying to land. There's a lot of noise in the background from that. But like, yeah, we we kind of how where I work and study is something that requires me to walk a lot, move a lot, a lot of activity that involves like standing, walking, and the rest. But that's not like the case with people who are from like who are working a job where they don't have to stand. Uh, my best friend does procurement and logistics. She rarely even moves. If she's not seated for lectures, she's working like during internships. Like she doesn't do much, but she still has a lot of weight, despite the fact that she's taller than me. But her weight is really much. So I think it's something to do with also the activities, your day to day also life. Now let's talk some nails. Someone asked me last the other time about how to make your press-on nails last. And as somebody who deals in the market for custom-made press-on nails, I think the first step for you to know if the nails are going to last is where you purchase them from. Don't get me wrong. I know everyone markets their press-on nails as ones that last, that have good bonding power. Is it bonding power? I don't know what it is called, but yeah, bonding power. The products are good and all of that, but the first thing is where you buy, because I'm not going to mention brands because I have purchased brands within Uganda, Africa at large, and also I've shipped from countries abroad or some custom small businesses on Instagram. I've reached out and I've got my nails shipped from them. I just don't do reviews here because they are not paying. So I could not do reviews of those nail products every time I purchase them. But yeah, where you buy is the first step to know if the nails are going to last because they're brands They just have a big name, maybe because they've stayed so long in the game, but their products are no longer the same like when they were introduced to us as just consumers, right? So that's the first step. Where you buy is the first step to it. Then the second step is once you've purchased it, how are you going to install it? Are you the one doing the installation for yourself or are you going to a professional? By the time you're buying press-ons, I really expect you to know how to put them for yourself, how to install them for yourself. Because you may as well just go to a salon and pay for a proper manicure and pedicure instead of having to buy them yourself and then you call someone else to fix them for you. You get it? Like, have you understood that? Yeah. It's just best you buy for yourself and you install it. Now, if you're going to install it, I would really advise that you all the from the nail file, the dehydrator, the primer, the glue, the nails. I would prefer you buy all of that from the same vendor or the same company, other than buying different press-on nails. The glue is also from a different brand. Yeah, they might work because I don't I, for nails it's not usually advisable. I wouldn't advise someone to do that intersection from one brand to another. For makeups it works because I've had my foundations come best from Fenty, but I prefer more of my blushes from Juvia's Place. You get it? So what I'm saying is this: if if you're able to purchase press-on nails where you buy from, make sure you buy from a brand that is going to sell for you all the necessary things in one place. And yes, sometimes you may want to save money and the rest, but at the end of the day, looking good also costs money. Let's make it more affordable by choosing a place where we can get all the things without having to like buy something else to do a control measure at the end of the day. You get it? Yeah. These are the nails. How we're going to apply the top coat as we talk. Uh-huh. So after you've bought the nail products, maybe from your trusted vendors and all of that, when you're installing it, the first step is always make sure that you trim your nails or cut them. I don't know what is the right word to use. Do you cut nails? Do you trim nails? Yeah, that word. I don't know what word it's supposed to be, but yeah. So when you cut the nails, you cut them to the sizes that you want, to the size and shape that you want. But also, I would advise if you're going to do press on nails, it will be best to just follow the natural flow of your nail bed when it comes to the shape that you're going to cut them to before applying the press on nails. Or if you cannot do that, it will just be best you do a simple coffin because coffin nails, I feel they tend to bond well with press-ons, even nail tips, compared to you having any other shape. Yeah, some people will prefer square, but I don't feel square will be able to settle into the nails, the press-ons that you've bought. Okay, because for me, that's what I've observed most. It wouldn't really fit in well, so just purchase, not purchase. Oluzungu kale the English is disappearing. But yeah, just make sure you buy the what? Just make sure that the products that you use for your wait, I'm trying to carve some corner here. Yeah, my concentration. So just make sure that the products that you buy are able to margin well before you start. So you cut the nails in either following your natural nail bed, how the shape moves. If you're not interested in maintaining it, then it will be best you do coffin for you to be able to have a good application that will last. Because at the end of the day, the shape of the nail bed also influences how the press-on nails are going to last. It does influence it a lot, and that's something a lot of people ignore, but it does influence it a lot. Then after you've shaped them, after you've shaped them, then you start maybe by filing. File. You don't have to overfile for the pressure nails, but it will be advisable for you to file using the rough edge to create the warps well. And after filing that, you push the nails well. Okay, you make sure to push the nails. I think we understand when I say you push the nails. Make sure to push the nails and clean the extra skin, dead skin that is growing around it. And guys, learn to identify what's a dead skin. Don't just cut anything. You're going to cut your own skin and it will start swelling at the end of the day once the wounds get in contact. Once the wounds get in contact with the products, the finger swells, you're wondering what is happening. Meanwhile, you just had poor application skills that are now biting you at the end of the day. So make sure to like have the dead skin cut, not the skin. I want you to observe what is the dead skin first before you cut. Don't just cut that extreme part of it, all in the name of trying to clean the nails. Yeah, then you file. After filing, I'd advise you do what? You apply the dehydrator. After filing, you wipe well. Apply the dehydrator. After applying the dehydrator, apply the primer. Then you apply the glue. Now there are different techniques with which people apply glue. For me, what has worked for me is you apply the glue, give it a little flash cure for like 15 seconds. Then the tips you also apply, the tips that you're going to do, because when I say that you have to buy good press-on nails, I'm here trying to say that you find a brand that already has pre-filed press-ons. But also, if you don't find pre-filed ones, then you have to file a bit for yourself, for it, where like the part which will sit on the nail bed, you have to make sure you file it. After filing it, you apply some glue on it and give it just a flash cure. After giving that cure, then you will be able to apply it back onto the nail bed. But then if you feel that glue is not enough for you, after pre-filing and curing it a bit, you can apply another extra bond just to seal it in. But then don't apply up to the end. You can apply up to the end, but you would apply up to the end if the profiling you did for the press-on nails was that good. If it wasn't that good and you don't trust yourself for it, don't apply to the end. Apply it somewhere and just leave a bit of a millimeter, yeah, yeah, a bit of it somewhere down here, okay, like just down here. Then you put the nails. But if you have the nail lamp and maybe the top coats, of course I'm meaning matte and gloss, the shiny one, those two. If you have the top coats, yeah, then you have to apply it, but to seal it. So when you're sealing it, you do that dragging effect on it to seal the press-on nails to the nail bed. I think there are videos online about how to seal nails using the top gel. Right now, I don't have any new sets of press-on nails. The last ones I had here, I would give my customers as just as a thank you. So I don't have any here with me. But yeah, you make sure you seal it. That's if you have the top coat. But if you don't have the top coat, then you have to make sure you apply it up to the end there. But when you're applying it, you cure it so well so that the glue sticks in well. And don't buy cheap glue, because the last time I checked, glue that is priced cheaply is never good. Much as people will say that it being cheap doesn't mean it's not good. I've worked in this industry for 4 years and I can honestly tell you cheap glue is never good. Don't fall for it. You're not going to like the outcome. It's going to be painful, it's going to be disastrous. So just don't do that. Invest in good products, okay? Invest in good products. If that means you purchasing nails and their products from small businesses who have put time into perfecting their work than industries which are doing mass production just for the sales, then do that. But that doesn't mean that you have to buy from small creators only, because I can guarantee a lot of small creators, they just they just like hike their prices because they're doing manual work. You get it? So they wouldn't offer you the quality you're also looking for. You get it? So purchasing a very good brand or from a very good brand when it comes to nails is very good. Is like it's a must. And it's not about wanting to have good things only. Guys, buying good quality things which are safe for your health is everything. It's like everything on the face of the earth. Because when it comes to beauty, once you buy the wrong product, you're literally risking your life. And I know a lot of women want to look good and want to look good on a budget a lot. I'm not saying all, because I know there are people who can afford. So the nails have cured, and we're going to do a test to see if they're fully cured. As I always say, make sure you wipe your finger very well, and we're going to use this what the fingerprints to test if it has dried well. You see this? You press. I want you to see how it's just all shiny through, and you don't have any marks of the lines on your finger. That tells you that the nails have dried. But if you do that and it's not indicate, and you see the marks from the nail product, no, on a nail product, that means it has not fully cured. Yeah, it has not fully cured. So just don't do it. Okay. Now that's we've covered today about press nails. Now we're going to talk about replacing or altering of products. I know the last time I checked, most customers, I'm right-handed, I'm left-handed, so I will take a lot of time doing this nail compared I took the time for working on the other one alone. So we're going to talk about altering of products. Of course, this is like a very new topic to me. The last time I went live, I got an email. Guys, I do have my email account there for businesses. If you want to reach out to me, you can reach to me through that email. Okay. Someone was telling me about asking me about altering of products. When is it a right time for you to change from one nail product to the next? And when they say products, they're not meaning like the company or what. They're just trying to mean like moving from gel, ordinary gel that I'm doing, to maybe builder gel, acrylic. Now I think the first step here is, do you want to move is the first question. Because you may want to move because everyone else is moving, or because that's what is trending. The first thing is, do you want to move? If it's yes, then you go. Why you want to move is now a personal thing. Okay, it's a personal thing. I know most people usually move because it's what's trending, but that's not how I move. I don't move because it's what's trending. I move because that's what my nails can accept at the moment. If my nails are not fine with a particular product, I don't use it, I don't stick to it. I don't advise anyone who is facing the same situation as me when it comes to that product to continue sticking, to continue using it, or change it. I don't advise that. So do you want to move is the first thing, and the second thing is your nail bed comfortable with with the products or the whole process with which they do? Because when I'm removing gel from my nails, I tend to peel it off. I can peel it off, or I can file it off, or I can soak it. It works for me. My nails are naturally hard, and I've found ways of keeping it hard naturally without it having to also break when like it knocks something, or without having it broken when I use a product on it. I will explain to you guys how I do that as time goes by. But yeah, the first thing is what what products merge with your nails? Do those products merge with your nail? Because if they do not merge with your nail bed, as you're moving from maybe a product that was suitable with your nail beds to a new product, you should also be saving money for treatment. And when I say treatment, it's not necessarily treatment of like going to a hospital to treat bad nails or getting antibiotics, but also treating it in the nail salons, because not every salon is able to treat nails. Some do that. I don't do nail treatment. That's something I've never done. I don't think I'll ever do it. But the salons that specialize in treating nails that have gone bad, and people pay for it. Though for me in my country, they charge a lot, because I can do gel, ordinary gel for somebody for 10,000 Ugandan shillings. And I think 10,000 Ugandan shillings is like $2 USD, just $2. That's how that's how cheap nails can be here for us. It's not something that a lot of people do or are interested in doing. So if you're planning to do the nail business here, you should be someone who is creative in moving into other fields. That's why I started YouTube, to get some extra money from it. It's not necessarily through not necessarily through just doing nails or custom made nails, also consulting. What, like, there's a lot. You have to be creative to be able to make money here if you're nail tech. Otherwise, if you're just doing nails, you won't be able to make the money, right? So that is something you should also consider. Are you willing to pay for the treatment of the nails, if the of your nails, or revival of your nail bed if the product reacts bad? If someone is from a first world country, I don't think they need to worry on that, because they know they will find a way to treat the nails. But where you come from, you should have that in mind, because somebody who even has never read anything regarding the process for making acrylic powder, or how or what products are used to make acrylic powder, trust me, he or she will also open a nail salon and do it for you. How it affects you is none of their business. They just want their money. So that is something you should consider as a customer. It's a must. Make sure to consider it before you change, move from one product to another. Now, you also have to think about how often you want to get your nails done with this product. I do gel, because I know after every three weeks or two, I'm getting a new set. That doesn't mean I wouldn't maintain the old ones. I would. I just don't like having overgrown, outgrown nails on my hands. It's not something that is in my brand. But there are people who have their overgrown gels and are comfortable with it, right? So that's the first thing you should do. You first see how often you want to do your nails, and how does this product work often. Does it affect the nails with time when it comes to their contact time? Because acrylic, you cannot do acrylic back to back and expect to have good healthy nails. It does not work. Okay, it does not. It never works. And if there's a nail tech here in the chat feeling, oh, she's trying to put down our products, I've not mentioned our brand, I've not mentioned any nail tech. I'm just giving my opinions on certain products that customers are using without knowing how it is. So you have to think about the curing, the whole process. Does it favor you? Will it leave your nails healthy? And do you have the money to revive your nails? How often do you want to do your nails with this particular product? You should think of that. And also the resting phase, because it's not really good for you to do nails right now and you remove them, then you apply the next nails immediately. You may, maybe if you have an event that needs you to go extremely smart, yeah, but even if still, I would advise you give yourself like 1 or 2 days. Guys, my neighbor is a pastor, and he's started his church stuff. It's Sunday, so there's a lot of noise coming from the background. But yeah, you have to like think through how you want to improve your nails with all those products and everything, because at the end of the day, if you are doing products just because it's what is trending, then how can I put it? I don't think you really care for your well-being that much. And yeah, somebody may be like, oh, a lot of nail techs are always having new nail designs that they're doing for their content. What? Let me just give you a little trick. Most of it is press-ons. They don't record that part of it to you, the consumers, and they don't also use glue to stick it to their nail bed. I've done that type of content before, so I know you use other ways to stick the pressure nails onto your real nails. Then you work on it there in the camera without having to explore what happens in the background. It's like mukbang videos. Don't swallow the food. That's why you see a lot of cuts in the middle because they're trying to spit out the food. There's no mukbang person who eats that food. It does not work that way. They eat some bit of it, but not all of it. So you have to like think about how long these nails also last. Because I can say acrylic, when it's well done, it lasts longer compared to any of these other nail products that we have. Yeah, builder gel does last, but I feel acrylic, in my own experience, and I think maybe it's because of how I also apply it to customers, but I feel acrylic lasts longer compared to any other nail product. Okay, that is just my own experience working with it, and also maybe the brand that I use. Now, speaking of brands, also if you're someone who doesn't do your own nails, you get products from other people, or you go to salons to do your nails, I would advise you to go to salons that use products that work well with your hands. Their products, their brands, I mean brands, salons that have brands that work well with your nails. When I'm doing just polish, I prefer to use Luron. Much as I use other brands, but I use Luron because it's one, Luron is that brand I've used on my nails for years and it has never given me any form of irritation. And that's not to say that other brands are bad. And also Luron is like that one high quality polish brand that I've used for years or that exists at proximity. We have many nail polish brands within Uganda and East Africa at large, but I feel Luron has been the best because it can even compare on a global scale with some of your favorite nail products. It's just that I don't know why they didn't decide to expand on their product ranges, because if Luron expanded, we really wouldn't be trying to improve improvise for ourselves by using these other abroad brands. But I feel Luron needs to work on that. But yeah, it's been that one company that I use their products mainly for my nails. I don't use other polish brands that much. But yeah, the brand has to be one brand that sits well with your nails. If it does not sit well with your nails, or it doesn't blend well with your natural nails, then it becomes a problem. Just like nail tips. Like when you're purchasing nail tips as a press on nail tech, you should also consider the types of customers that come to like come to your salon or order from you. If it's a global thing where like a lot of customers from all over the world doing, then yeah, you may, but then you need to buy brands that work well with every type of nail bed, because I can tell you most East African girls that I've met have similar nail beds to mine, which is it's just long. Their nail bed tends to be longer. It's not wide. It tends to be long, not wide. Okay, tends to be long, not wide. But I've also had customers who are from DRC and Central African Republic, the country called Central African Republic, and a Chad lady who ordered from me online once, and we had to like send it to her. Their nail beds tend to be kind of larger compared to what I've normally worked with, right? That means you have to be considerate of the people that come to work with you, or considerate of yourself whenever you're going to a salon. You have to be able to know, do you think this person is likely to have the shapes that work well with my natural nail bed? Because it's not like you should underlook yourself or what. You just have to have that. You should know, because a lot of times when you go to a salon and they don't have what you want, they're going to gaslight you. That's they're going to do it. And your role as a customer, it's a must know what works for you. Even if you don't know it on a professional level, a little Google search can help you on that. You have to know what works for you. And yeah, we know a lot of those nail bed calculators what tend to be scams, but you should be able to see when something doesn't work on your nails, because it really makes zero sense for you to have a large nail bed and they're putting for you tips that are quite very small. It tends to look bad. I wouldn't say like, you know, I think bad is a better word to use here. They wouldn't look good. So you have to like find products that work. You get it? Make sure you find products that work, nail tips that work for your nail bed. It's a must. Make sure you find that. And of course, that depends also on the countries that you get from, because I've used mainly nail tips that are from China and UK. Most of the nail tip products that I've used, I make sure I purchase them from those two countries, because they tend to have nail beds that cater to the type of customers that I receive here often. Okay, that's something you should also know. Now, when it comes to the products brand, sometimes people don't feel like they want to use maybe a brand because this is what their favorite celebrity is using or is influencing. Yeah, that's good, but also you have to care about the type of weather you have. I cannot buy products that do not work well with the type of weather I experience here. I'm in a tropical country, okay, in a tropical country, and we have two seasons, that is the dry season and the wet season. During the wet season, some brands don't work for me, but during the warm season, they work for me, right? Now, like this brand that I use, NFC, it has always worked best for me whenever it's warm weather. Okay, warm weather it works so well, but when it's cold, it's not really usually that the best, but it still works. So I think you should get products that work well, not just products, but the brands that work well in that particular weather you are in. It's like a must. Make sure you get that. Consider that before before purchasing it or letting someone to apply it on you, because you may do your nails maybe in the States, and you come back to you come maybe to a country like Africa, which is more of a tropical. And that's not to say that we have one type of climate here. We do have the Mediterranean. That's if in North Africa or the extremes of Africa, yeah, it would work. The extremes, that's the north and the south. Some nail products that are applied in the cold, or brands that work mainly in the cold would work. So you have to consider the type of climate you live in or your customers live in for you to be able to get products that would work. That's why each time I'm having maybe like a customer who wants press on nails and they're telling me, oh, I want a custom, maybe I'm going to this and that country. I tend to want to know where this country is located. That way I know what products I would use best, so that they don't have the nails after they have applied them and they're not working well, or the colors are not unifying with the rest of their outfits or everything, or they're not reflecting well, just because these people used products that were not working for that specific climatic area. So you should also consider that, okay? And much as someone may be like, oh, that's a lot of work for just a nail tech or a customer, baby, doing that work is going to save you from a lot of things. I do monochrome nails of late a lot, and for class and everything. And a lot of people wonder why they tend to look good on me. It's because I know the situation in which right now I am, the environment in which I am right now. You're not allowed with certain types of nails in certain spaces. So that's also another thing you should consider, because if you realize acrylic tends to be better on longer nails. That is just my own observation on longer nails. And then you also have to consider the environment in which you are in, like the situations in which you are in. You don't expect someone who is in the engineering field to have very long nails. Yeah, and that's not to say that they are not there. I think they're there, but that would be only if you're someone who is an office engineer, not a site engineer. Then yeah, it would work. But if you're someone who is a site engineer, then you need to have nails that palatable with the environment in which you are in. Okay, so you'll have to make sure that is what you do. The nails have to be palatable with the environment in which you are in. If they are not, it becomes a bit shameful at the end of the day. So just, and it might even disorganize you a lot, because I wouldn't want to be in a situation where maybe I'm entering the lab and the lab technician is telling me, oh, go remove your nails. You get it? It's just like hair, braiding. I don't get extremely long braids. I always do my braids bra length, just a bra strap length, because at the end of the day, it will cover my neck. I don't like my neck, the back of my neck being seen by people around. No. Then also, if in case I don't bob my hair up or like hold it into a puff, I'm able to work in field without having to worry about, oh, is the hair going to get stuck in this machine, or is this hair going to disorganize my experiments, or is it going to inconvenience me working in this hot sun. So the same way you have to be critical of the type of hair you get based on environment or the work you do, you also have to consider that in nails. Okay, you have to consider that in nails. Sometimes you love certain things, but that is not what's going to work for you. You should have that consideration for yourself. It's like something you have to consider. Okay. And also you have to consider if the nails that you're doing will last long. Some nails don't really last, like polish. Polish does not last, let's be honest. I think I had that phase in 2016 where I was experimenting on how to make my polish last. You people, it was quite an embarrassing phase. Thank God I was that time active on Snapchat, not on YouTube. Imagine I had a YouTube channel at that time and people would be laughing at this one creator who is trying to improve how her polish lasts. To be quite shameful, but yeah, you have to consider that, okay? It's a must thing for yourself. Considering I'm getting Snapchat messages, those are just Snapchat messages, nothing much. But yeah, you have to consider like what products last and what products don't last for you. It's a must. You have to consider it. And also basing on the activities that you do. Some activities like house chores, yeah, consider them. If you're someone who does a lot of house chores, you have zero business having mat. Yeah, and I've said it. You have zero business getting mat if you're mat top coat. If you're someone who does a lot of house chores, because you're just going to spoil it up for yourself, sis. Just don't do it. What you do with your time, how you work, your life at home, all of that, it determines the type of top coat you get. Mat might look beautiful, but just know if you're someone who does a lot of work, it tends to look dirty with time. A lot of house chores, you clean, you wash, you, oh, all of that. No, don't do mat. Mat only looks good if you're somebody who doesn't do a lot of house chores, and only maybe when you're going for a party, you want the nails to look good. Mm-mm. And I know there are people who love already matte. They feel it is that product, the it girl. But no, just don't get matte. Matte never looks that good if you're someone who does a lot of house chores, a lot of building work, or you don't even have good hygiene yourself. It does not look good. The end of the day, it's going to look quite dirty. So just don't get it. And also colors. We're going to talk about colors. There are colors that look good in certain products and they look in others. I think to myself, I feel like lilac purple has always been better in gel, builder gel compared to normal gel. Despite the using them from the same brand, the problem is I'm home. If I was in my studio, my salon, by the way, I got a salon where I now work from during my free time. Do I have right now someone who runs it for me? But yeah, lilac purple in builder has looked better than it looks in normal gel, and that is what I've observed most times. So I think, oh, much as a lot of people would prefer to just use the colors thinking that they all radiate the same frequency when it comes to the way they look, it's not the same with it's not the same with lilac colors like lilac. Not generally like lilac, but you see there are those colors on the spectrum that are quite light and subtle. Yeah, that is lilac purple. It's part of them. It tends to look better in builder gel than it looks with the normal gel, this ordinary gel that we have. So you also have to consider how the colors from each product works. It's a must, because some colors look better in acrylic than they will look in normal gel, than in builder, than in polish. You have to consider that. And then product mix up. This is the last thing I want to talk about. Okay, product mix up. Someone was asking, can you? This was from a customer. It's not online here. This was from my salon. Can you apply polish? Then you apply top coat, maybe gel top coat on top of it, and it lasts. Come on, that's an idea. I've never tried, I've never thought of it. If anyone has ever tried it and knows how it goes, please you can drop for us a comment regarding it. But otherwise, I feel like I want to try it one of these days and see how it works. Maybe for my toenails. I mean, my toenails stay in boots most times. They're not that out unless I'm home. These are the nails. So we're going to do a cure test as we always do it. That you can see no lines, no fine lines. So yeah, it was nice watching me today, guys. Next week we're going to be same time. We'll do my toenails and we'll have more conversation regarding nails, everything nails, nail products, what works and what doesn't work. So it's time for some questions. If you have questions, please drop them now. If I can answer it right now, I will. If I'm unable to answer it, I will keep it for the next live stream. So let's take these few minutes for any form of questions and other interaction. It seems there are no questions, so we can end the live stream here. But thank you all for tuning in. Next week on Sunday, same time. We can't do live streams over the weekdays because I have exams. And after the exams, we're going to be doing streaming every day. Some days will be twice, other days will be once. And I can't wait to meet all of you. Have a nice new week.